At some point in our lives, we've had some imaginary friends that helped us along the way. Some created their imaginary pals from movie characters, while others patterned theirs from ideal traits. Eventually, they disappear when we are already capable of facing the real world by ourselves. But some imaginary friends stay. And when you think about it, are they really imaginary ones? And were they really our friends? I'm Lena, and I am a single mother of a girl named Jessa. My husband left us for another woman, and that's another story. I used to be a typical mother, you know, the usual stuff with single mothers. Jessa goes to a kindergarten school outside of town. Miss Shelby, her teacher, lives 2 doors down from us and has been nothing but a blessing to me and Jessa, especially during this terrible moment. I honestly don't know what I'd do without that amazing woman. This saga, however, began during her kindergarten years. When I arrived to pick her up, she informed me that she had met a new friend at school. "Are you sure?" I inquired. "What is their name?"
"Marla," she said joyfully. "She is invisible and she lives in a massive playground world filled with stars that she built."
At this time, I assumed Marla was a figment of her imagination. "She sounds fantastic," I said.
"She is," said Jessa. "During break time, Miss Shelby directed me to remain back and tidy the toy section. I thought it would be dull at first, but then Marla appeared and miraculously cleaned it, and we spent the remainder of the break time playing together."
Jessa was usually full of ideas. She was also a great talker. Jessa discussed her new friend's looks in the car on the way home.
"She's black all over, including her clothes and hair, and she has small white specks glittering all over her body. And she claims to be 7 years old."
It was lovely, in my opinion, that time. Jessa informed me that Marla would be staying at our place for a week and that she would be playing with her. "Okay," I said, this time with a chuckle of disbelief. But I said it anyways. Jessa returned home the next day with another Marla story.
"During break time, she opened a portal to her RAM and we played there all day. She claimed she'd take me there forever shortly."
At this time, I became apprehensive. "Jessa," I said, "Marla is made up. Are you aware of this?"
Jessa laughed. "No, she isn't. She's in the back seat with me right now."
She then pointed to the empty seat beside her. I was happy to learn that no one was grooming Jessa at school, but I was worried about her mental health at this time. But by ruminations, I was able to eliminate my concerns. She's simply acting, I thought to myself. At this age, many children have imaginary pals. She'll grow out of it. You're probably mad, not her. And perhaps I was. I'm aware that I'm probably nuts now. Jessa returned home from school the next day with a worried expression on her face.
"Marla dislikes you,"
she stated in the automobile.
"She claims you're dull and always tell me what to do, which she despises."
That night, I did some more thinking. I told myself over and over that Marla wasn't real. It was normal over the following several days till the conclusion of the week. Every day, Jessa would come home from school with a fresh narrative about what she and Marla had done that day. Until Sunday, that is. Jessa told me on Sunday morning that Marla was taking her to her planet tonight. I didn't say anything. I was a strange mix of terrified, in denial, and irritated with myself for being concerned about this. Just an imaginary pal. I awoke on Monday morning and couldn't locate Jessa anywhere. The police were summoned, but she was not found. We searched all over town and called neighbors and friends, but Jessa was nowhere to be found. I was loathing myself while trying to convince myself that it wasn't Marla who had done it. As illogical as it might sound, I am scared of Marla. And then after a few days, Jessa's body was discovered by the police. She'd been found up a tree in her town's forest, with several stab wounds and a panicked expression on her face. My heart broke into 1,000 pieces seeing my daughter lifeless. No mother should ever say goodbye to their children first, and no child should ever have to experience such monstrosity. Jessa was my life, my one and only love, and now she's gone. I know it's Marla. Marla killed my daughter, and she will pay. That night, I searched through Jessa's stuff and found a drawing of Marla's face. She was black all over and had a monstrous grimace, very different from what Jessa had described before. And in that drawing, I saw a familiar thing. Marla was wearing a star necklace similar to what Miss Shelby always wore. And it has dawned on me that Miss Shelby was Marla. Goosebumps thrived into my body as I confront her. I knocked on her door, but no one was answering. She probably ran away, but she cannot escape my wrath. I banged her front door and she finally opened it. I grabbed her hair and hit her so hard in the face that she began to bleed. I saw her star necklace and grabbed it from her. She pushed me away and called the cops while I sobbed on the floor. My Jessa! My baby Jessa is gone! Miss Shelby grabbed her handgun and warned me that if I take one more step closer to her, she would fire. You killed my baby girl! I screamed, ready to murder her. She looked at me with pure confusion and disdain. What are you talking about? Who killed who? She asked. Jessa! You groomed her to make up an imaginary friend so you can get her and kill her! I screamed and blamed her for all the pain in my heart. And suddenly, she answered. Olina dear, you don't have a daughter! And then I remembered. Yes, she's right. I don't have a daughter. I never had one. As it turns out, Jessa is an imaginary soul I created because of my loneliness.